Okay, waiting on people to join. Okay, let's begin. Set your posture. 5 minutes. Starting now. Okay, short break. If anyone has questions, please put them in the chat. Okay. Set your posture. Make sure your legs are in a comfortable position. Maintain the natural S curve of the spine. Slightly drop the chin without pulling the head all the way back. Make sure that the shoulders are in the natural place in their sockets. They're not too far forward. They're not unnaturally pulled back. They're just relaxed and down. So another 5 minutes, intensive breath meditation, counting the breath using the nostril as the point of focus. Here we go. Start. Okay, short break. So I see a question in the chat. How do you maintain stability for your posture for long sessions, an hour and above? So I very briefly mentioned, you see me in between sessions doing this exercise. One thing you can do, and this comes over from a different meditative tradition. This retreat is mainly in the Buddhist tradition, but one thing you can do is think about for a longer session. Think about your concentration as being on a let's say a sliding scale from 1 to 10. Okay, and you can be fully out of concentration, which would be like a 1, right? You're not meditating at all. And then being fully immersed in the object of meditation would be a 10. And when there's too much pain in the body, for example, maybe you need to slide back to like a 6 or a 7. Don't fully come out of the concentration on the object, but you maintain 60-70% of your focus on the object, and you move the body a little bit. And then when the body finds a place where it's comfortable again, then you zoom back in and turn the volume up, move up the sliding scale back to an 8, a 9, a 10, as high as you can on the sliding scale. Being able to sit comfortably for a long time, you can also learn how to do this. If you want to be able to sit for 3 or 4 hours at a time, you can also learn how to do this by sitting in your meditative posture while you're watching television or playing video games or whatever it is you do for fun. So, or scrolling on your phone. So you just sit on your couch or your chair or whatever. You get yourself very comfortable, and then you sit in uh, in your meditative posture, and you try to sit as still as you can. Yeah. So this is how you can sit for a long period. You get comfortable in the posture, you learn how to make small adjustments when you're uncomfortable, and then slowly over time, the adjustments you need to make get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you can sit for 2 or 3 or 4 hours without too much discomfort. Yeah, okay. So that's our short break. Let's do another 5-minute session. So the practice we're doing, once again, is intensive meditation on the breath using the nostril, counting the breath from 1 to 7, 7 to 0. So do this with a great amount of intensity. No need to adjust the body during the counting. If you have to adjust, do it when you reach 0 at the end of each repetition. But other than that, don't move. Begin. Okay, short break. Another key component for being able to sit for longer periods, even though that's not the topic today, is that you want to make your body quite comfortable. So if you find a very comfortable place to sit, probably actually a lot easier to sit on your couch with lots of cushions and what have you, rather than sitting on a cushion. uh, the first time that I was able to sit for 4 hours was sitting on my couch, not sitting on my meditation cushion. So having a really comfortable place to sit is important, and there's no reason to try to Iron Man your way through. It's not a pain endurance contest. So that's quite important. Also, if you do something like yoga or Tai Chi, Qigong, something to make the body much more sort of open, comfortable, making sure there's good blood flow to the organs, the muscles, the tissues, and everything is sort of sitting where it should be, then it's easier to sit for longer periods. This is a huge reason why things like yoga were invented in the first place. I'll also say that in the beginning, the practices that we'll be doing tomorrow in retreat, those are much easier to do for longer periods of time because the object is moving, because you're scanning the body, for example. It's easier to sit for a longer period because you're constantly seeing something new and the mind sort of stays more fresh, more engaged. If you're sitting down and just trying to focus on the breath for an hour, probably you're either going to get really distracted within 10 minutes or 15 minutes in the beginning, or you're going to get so bored and tired that you'll be falling asleep somewhere midway through. And because you won't be super engaged with the object, the pain in the body will be amplified because your mind is looking for something else besides the object of meditation. Yeah. And pain is all the excuse you need to stop the session. So, yeah, as I point at my knee, my sore knee. Okay. So, yeah, a big part of being able to sit for long periods of time has to do with actually generating some capability in meditation also. So if you have a comfortable place, you've gotten familiar with the posture, your body is relatively comfortable, and then you add on some actual meditative capability, sitting for longer periods of time becomes natural. It's something that you kind of want to do as a practitioner. Okay, that's our short break. And this will be the last session of the day. So 5 minutes intensive breath meditation. And then we're going to pick it up tomorrow, London time, I believe 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. You can check the schedule. Okay. And tomorrow we're moving on to a different practice. We're moving on to body scanning. Okay, here we go. 5 minutes. Set the posture and begin. Okay, that concludes the first day of a 5-day retreat. We're only doing about 5 hours of practice a day, so this is a pretty light retreat. During the break times, for anyone who's joining in and going to be carrying on with the remainder of the retreat, you can find the schedule, links, blah, blah, blah below. Spend your free time reading through the material, reading through the stuff from the 9 stages chapters, reading through Foundation 1, and tomorrow I'll be covering Foundation 2. So I'll put a new live link tonight that'll have the link for the link for the Google Doc for Foundation 2, which has to do with scanning the body. And that link will describe it as a standing exercise, but mostly we're going to be doing it seated because we're going to be doing so much of it. So for those of you who are new and just joining because I'm doing a live stream for this retreat, hope to see you tomorrow. Hope to see you continuing on. For those of you who have been my students for a while, I will definitely see you in the coming days.